Good morning, everybody. We're here today on my new job site and we're going to be doing a concrete patio, a 34 by 22 concrete patio. Got the MT100 and I got the whole crew here. We got Eric, Luis, and Enrique. You'll see them today. And we're just going to focus on digging this out and forming it up. Hopefully we can get it all ready and maybe we can pour either tomorrow or the next day. Alright, we just dug it out. We kind of have a rough grade on it right now. We got Enrique on the rake. He's kind of spreading it out, getting it ready for compaction. Yeah, and then we got Eric over here. He's on the form work right here, getting it all formed up for us. So yeah, this project's coming along quick. We should have it all set up by the end of the day for sure. So this concrete patio is actually just going to be a standard broom finish design. However, we are using colored concrete. We're using Pewter Gray by Davis Color Charts, and it's basically just a light gray color, but it's darker than regular concrete for sure. You guys will see later on in the video. And to give the patio a nice contrast, we're going to be doing a red brick ribbon border going around the entire perimeter of this patio here. And notice how we form for these red brick ribbons. We use 1x2 on the inside, 8 inches away from the backside form. And what that allows us to do is pour the entire slab monolithically with the footing of the red brick ribbons. So you don't risk in the future the red brick ribbon sinking or rising higher than the patio itself, because it's all one solid pad, which is the best way to install these red brick ribbons. And we're also going to be installing a shade cell cover on this patio here. So we're digging out some footing holes, and that's where our posts are going to set for the shade cell cover. And it's pretty funny because as we were digging these holes for the shade cell cover, we actually ran into some pretty interesting things down below. So we're digging out these little footings right here for the patio cover, and Luis found some dog skulls, man. Let's check it out. Dang. Look at the teeth, fully intact. Dang, we hit the burial site over here.
Here's the 16-inch wide, half-inch radius walking edger in action. And this tool is real nice because it saves you from having to get down on your hands and knees and edging the entire patio with a hand edger. And it's a lot faster too, I'd say. And here we are setting in the Simpson strong ties for the shade sail cover we will be installing later. We had them marked before we poured, and now we're just setting them right where they need to be, 5 feet spaced apart. And we'll throw in some 4x4 pressure treated wooden beams with some lag bolts running through them to tie it all in. At this point of the pour, we just hit it with the bow float, then the Fresno. Now we're cutting in our joints with the cutter, and we're cutting them about 1 inch deep because our slab here is 4 inches, so you need at least 1/4 of the depth to make a effective crack control joint. Once we cut all the joints in, we can follow it up with the walking joiner to smooth out those lines and make them nice, pretty joints. Then we'll get on our sliders and knock all this out by hand at least twice before we're ready to broom it. That's a wrap on all of the concrete work here, and now we're moving on to the next phase, which is some drainage and brick ribbons. The drainage is actually going to be a French drain at the customer's request. We're putting it at the end of the patio, and we have all the water already sloping away from the house, and it's going to run right into this French drain here. We're also going to be installing turf on this project. The customer added this on last minute. So this entire dirt area will be turf, and it's actually going to be a putting green because they got some kids, some families, so they basically made it a miniature golf course. And we just designed it exactly the way they wanted it here. We also popped up some drains on the side of the patio, on the left side there. You can see them stubbed up. And that's just a backup really, but everything's going to go to that French drain.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of a cake.
Yeah, that's it.
Making the cake, huh?
Yeah.
Beautiful job, man. We got Enrique on the grout, edging this brick up. And we got Eric following it up, cleaning it up a little bit. And then Luis is gonna come by with a sponge and sponge it all out.
So we added about 2 to 3 inches of class 2 road base here, and then compacted it nice and tight. And then on top of that, we're doing some sand, about 2 inches of sand. And that's just so you don't feel any rocks or anything jagged as you're walking over the turf.
Alright, we got Jose filling up the Scott sand spreader. Gonna use this for the putting green right here. We got a couple putting green areas going in. We got one right here, one in this corner, and one over there.
The reason for the sand in those specific areas is because that's where the hole is going to be for the golf course, at least one of them. And you want it to roll level and true, so the sand kind of levels out the slope, because the existing slope in the turf area is all kind of headed towards the patio where we have the drains. So in those couple areas, it'll be completely level for the golf balls. Once you have all your sand down and the area is level, you go ahead and get your carpet tool here. It's a carpet kicker is the name of it. So if you lay carpet, you're probably familiar with this tool, but we also use it to lay down turf, because what it does is it stretches out that turf, so over time it won't crease or wrinkle or any of that stuff. So this is a very necessary part of the process when laying any kind of turf. Here's a good demonstration and technique on joining the two turfs together. What Jose's doing here is he's pulling those longer blades back on the edge there, and then pushing the putting green right up against that edge and stapling it in place. That way you get a real nice clean edge, and if you didn't do that, the seam would look real funny right there. Now we got Roman cutting the edge here along this French drain, and notice how when we set this French drain, we set it about a ½ inch away from the red brick ribbon, so we can also grout that gap in between the French drain and the red brick ribbon, and it came out extremely nice. Here's the final step in laying artificial turf, and that's going to be the power broom. At this point, we already dumped in our bags of silica sand, which is our infill, and now we're brooming it all into the turf. And what that does is it allows the turf blades to stand straight up instead of laying down on its side, giving it a more realistic look to the grass, you could say. And this is actually my new power broom I bought, so this was our first time using it on one of my turf jobs, and my turf guys said that this broom was really good. It had some good power to it, and a lot better than the ones that I've been getting from Home Depot, so that was nice. Good morning, everybody. So I just got to my job site. Today we're going to be throwing up the shade cell cover. We got all the beams set in place, so it's just a matter of hanging it now and tying it up. We're also going to be cutting the holes out for the putting green that I installed. See, we got the turf cut out, but we need to cut out the hole, and I have a tool for that. I'll be showing you guys how to do that today as well. And this is the tool right here to cut out the holes for the turf. The customer here had a very specific vision, and we basically just did as he requested here. Typically for putting greens you would have a longer section, or if you're going to do separate sections like this, you'd have it all tie in together, the putting green, but this is how the homeowner wanted it here. So yeah, that's how we did it. Now we got the shade cell cover going up. So the homeowner wanted a blue shade cell cover, and that's what we got him. I did tell him though that, you know, doing a shade cell cover when it's this big of a patio, it's probably gonna have some slop in it and fly around a little bit in the wind, unless we do another post in the middle or something like that. But he didn't want a post in the middle because he, you know, obviously wanted his patio wide open. And he told me that this is just a temporary fixture because he's saving up enough money to do an aluma wood patio cover. And this project was a few months ago, and he just called me and said he's ready to do the patio cover. So you guys will be seeing us change this out here for a patio cover in the next coming weeks. This is how the job looks 6 months later from the previous clip you just had watched. So I kind of just wanted to give you guys an update and show you guys how the concrete's doing, and it's holding up extremely well. There's not a single crack in it, and most importantly, it drains good. So the customer said everything has been draining right here to the French drains, and there's not one puddle in this whole backyard. Sure enough, like I had thought, the shade cell cover was blowing around just a little too much. So we did end up taking that down because the homeowner is now ready to do the aluma wood patio cover. So stay tuned for the next episode where we change this out for a nice aluma wood patio cover. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we'll be seeing you on the next one. Have a good day. Bye.